All right. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the pre-market show. Hope everyone's having an amazing morning. Hope you had a great day yesterday. Good morning, Norm. How are you doing today?
Hey, good morning, buddy. I'm doing great. I'm doing great. How about yourself? Happy tax day.
Yes, it's as today tax day for sure. So if you guys have not taken care of that, please make sure you do. All right, guys. We have a bit of a very large list this morning towards the upside. So again, just a lot on here. We'll see how we'll manage this. This has been one of the largest lists we have seen in quite a bit. A lot of our players that we've been tracking quite a bit here, UAL, the airlines, you got some cruise lines in here as well. MGM always making an appearance. You got a couple of
Retail, banks, everything. It's
yeah,
the whole market, man.
everything is here, guys. So if you look at some of the sectors here, you can see transportation, retail, finance, everything is in here. A little bit of everything going on. So a few gapping down this morning. It looks like some of the low flow stuff taking a hit, which makes sense, right? The market's doing well. Why would you be dropping? But these low flows, they tend to do their own thing. So we'll look into what's going on there. But before we do that, man, let's get into the market. I'll pause and just kind of see what's happening there, Norm. What's the latest and greatest?
Crazy, crazy morning. So right after the market closed yesterday, news came out that Moderna's vaccine for COVID, in its it released some data, interim data for its phase one trial. 45 people, all 45 people, um, tested positive for antibodies that would neutralize the virus. So that shot them up. I got to tell you, I rarely ever trade after hours, but I traded this and padded my day a little bit with it. It was a crazy move. Shut up, it closed around 75, shot up to over, right around 90, and then made a second run at just over 90. Pulled back a little bit now, but I mean, this has popped the whole market. On news of this and then saying the amount of vaccine that they're going to be able to produce by the end of this year and then next year. So it's kind of given some optimism to everything,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know. So that's what's going on. And then this morning, we also had positive news. Goldman Sachs, which is on our Gappers GS, the ticker, uh, Gulf Sierra. Yeah, they had their earnings for second quarter. And I've mentioned a few times how difficult it is for analysts to come up with estimates right now. I mean, nobody really knows what anybody's going to do. Their revenue, I mean, it was just unreal what they did compared to estimates. So um, they were estimated to do $3.97 earnings per share. They did 626, so nearly double. And their revenues were 15.4-ish billion versus 8.46. I mean, the numbers weren't even close to what analysts had predicted. Obviously, their trading revenues were huge, the biggest they've had in years. So that's a chunk of it. But anyway, so some positive earnings coming out of it. We got vaccine news. The reopen trade is on today, apparently. Um, as far as economic data today, we had the import price index, Empire State Index this morning, right when we came on the air at 8:30. Industrial production capacity utilization is at 9:15, and then the beige book's out at 2. So that's what's going on today. We've got a slew of data tomorrow as well. Should be interesting to see all that.
Excellent. Thank you for that. Yeah, just again, a whole lot going on here, guys. So we'll try to do our best to kind of get through some of the players on this gapping up list this morning. We won't be able to get through all of them, so I want to leave some room for you guys to give us some stuff that
This
you're watching.
And one thing to note, if you pull up the SPY and take a look, well, you already have it. You don't need to change the screen. But on that daily there, we are right at that top where we made in mid to early June right there, at that
Yeah,
323.
yeah,
So if we break through this, it's a pretty good sign. It'll be interesting to see how the market acts
I
as we
agree.
get at that number.
I agree because if you go back here when things were doing well pre-COVID, you could see how great that level was. Nice area of support. We dipped down here a little bit,
Yep.
found some good support there, and then went back and made new highs. So again, interesting. We're right at the tip of this iceberg when it first started heading down,
Yep.
right? So I can't wait to see what's going to happen today, guys. It's going to be a very interesting day. Some people think it might be choppy, others think that it can run. Who knows? Who knows? But we'll be definitely front seat for this one. Let's get to our gappers list this morning and see what we have going on here. Let's start with what's gapping down, and we're not going to spend too much time here because already what I see here this morning is not looking all that great, guys. WIMI is a low flow stock sitting at a 6.6 million shares. Flow, and again, it just doesn't trade very well. Couple of days, couple of pops here. Yesterday pretty much just went sideways, and look how crazy this action was. Again, just not something we're going to spend too much time on. The next one here, INBM, and by the way, you can see now that if I'm clicking on trade ideas, it's actually working. So that stuff that I showed you how to do yesterday, it does work. For some reason yesterday my machine, it wasn't working, but if you link it up to your DAS, you can click on here and it'll quickly switch your montage over to
it's going to stop working if you show them how to do it.
I'm not going to show you how to do it. You saw it yesterday. If you didn't catch it, go back and look at the replay on YouTube. But yeah, pretty cool, especially if you have trade ideas, because then the entire day you don't have to be typing in each ticker as you're scanning through things. So INBM here, another one that doesn't trade very well, 4 million shares float. We're going to skip on that one too. VXRT is decent. I mean, we've seen some good trading out of this, but again, it requires a different type of strategy. You got to be very patient and really wait out these consolidation areas that you're seeing here, and then you possibly can get a breakout when volume comes in. Very important. So again, one that I know for a lot of people has been very active. I have not really kept it on my list at all. And I really don't plan to today with the type of day we're going to have in this market. So, but if you do like this one, definitely one that's pretty active. 1.8 million shares traded. It is down 2.9. I'm going to add it on here for anybody else that wants to look at it. You can have that there. SCEMMI, excuse me. This one down 3.5. Horrible pre-market action. 16 million shares flow. Again, not seeing anything happen here. So we're going to skip on this one. All right, let's go to the giant list here. JRJC up 177%, 1.3 million shares traded right now. So this thing is an animal at the moment. The float on this at 1.8 million shares float. Again, guys, just the amount of risk that you can put yourself at with these type of stocks is it's you got to be careful. You have to be careful. So we'll put this on the side. This thing the low was at $10, sitting at almost 36 now. We'll put it as a low flow down here. Annie's another low flow sitting at 3.7. Doesn't have a great pre-market action. If you're going to trade something with this type of flow, you want to have a good pre-market action like we had on JRJC. This one is decent, not the best. We've seen really good pre-market actions on these low flow stocks. Annie does not have that today. You've got to get a lot better than that, and significantly on the lower side when it comes to volume. mRNA definitely on top of our list. This thing is just monstrous, as Norm mentioned. I remember, Norm, you sent a text yesterday, and I looked at him like, what's going on with mRNA? And I popped into it, and I'm like, holy moly, this thing was sitting at 89 by the time I looked at it. I know you had a great move on them. It's just insane. Look at the volume. It almost looks like if the market just opened, right, with the type of volume the way it was trading. So just amazing stuff here. This thing is up today, 16.2, 3.4 million shares. Again, it definitely will be in everybody's attention this morning. EVRI, not the greatest pre-market right now. Pretty much not much looking great. What's the float on this? 84 million. A couple of days here, you have some pretty wide bars here, but look at the volume though. For the most part, this stock trades very light on the volume, so I'm concerned with that there. It has a couple of good days here, probably on some news or some catalyst pushing it. I'm not sure what you're going to get today on this one, so I'm gonna skip on this. Let's go over to Play this morning. Play up 12.8. I do like that we're leaving this area consolidation. Again, good news about stuff reopening is good news for Dave & Buster's. Obviously, they need people in there as soon as possible. Look at the after hours. Pretty much right when Moderna started going, this thing also started going, right? So again, good news on vaccines, and when they can reopen, it's good for them. They're up nicely today, 210. So worth watching. Not the best pre-market action. I know that we've seen better, but the few times that we looked at Play, that's kind of the action you're going to get. So We just have to see if it's going to have a decent opening. CUK is basically a different share class of CCL. So let's just look at the cruise lines now. CCL 1.6 million. Now we're talking here, because the few times that we looked at CCL the last couple of days, the volume was very light, sitting around 400, 300. And again, that's not a lot for CCL pre-market, but this looks good. 1.6 million shares is definitely worth us catching our attention here. I do like the fact that we're on top of this consolidation area, a possible breakout here, beautiful pre-market action, good volume. Let's keep it on deck here. Heading down to NCLH, I'm going to skip through the cruise lines now. This one's also another good one, does have some good volume as well. CCL has a little more, but again, this one definitely one that you can have as well, or choose between the two. When the market is trading so well like this, guys, again, these stocks do very well. So definitely players this morning. And then the last one, I don't see, oh, here it is, RCL. Again, this one's a little bit higher price, guys. Gets the less volume, maybe because of the price, I'm not sure. But again, the pre-market is not looking all that great, but it will be in play today. So I know a lot of members have been trading RCL. They like the way it moves. It moves a little bit slow, but you still get some pretty clean move. So if you're doing that, keep an eye on this one. Let's take a look at the airlines leading the way right now. It is United UAL. It is up 8.7, 1 million shares traded. I like what I'm seeing here on the daily as well. A nice, beautiful pop breaking out of this beautiful area of resistance over the last couple of days. So I want to keep an eye on United. This has been my favorite, guys, out of all the airlines. I know American Airlines gets the most volume, and that one is next. They're sitting at 2.8. So look at the comparison between the two, right? We'll throw that one on here. I know people prefer American Airlines sometimes. I think United just moves a little bit smoother for me, and I really like that price range. What else we have here? JetBlue, usually lighter volume, so usually not the best pre-market activity, but if you've been trading this one, it's also in play today. And let's head down. What else we have? I think that's pretty much it. We have Love. Again, all the airlines are not here, guys. We're not going to go through all of them. Pick the one you like the best. For me, it's going to be United or American Airlines. All right, I'm just going to go through this now before we give it to you, Norm, and the room. Let's see if we see something that we've been watching closely that it might be active this morning. MGM is on here, another one that could be a good one today. I'm not going to add it here. GPS on this list. Not a great pre-market activity, so we'll move on to the next one. Delta is another good airline as well that tends to move very well, so keep an eye out for that one. We have a WIM here as well, WYNN. Not much volume right now, pretty much moving sideways, but a nice big pop of 5.6. And what I like about, I'm going to add this one as a possible. What I like about the daily here is this beautiful breakout. You had a nice double bottom off the daily, which is a good technical for a reversal anyway. And now you possibly, if we can get above this here, the SPY is going to be strong. I think we can possibly get some good opportunities out of WIM this morning. So throwing that in as a possible. And then one last one, I'm going to look at WFC and JP Morgan, because these two were pretty active. But WFC, was it yesterday? Oh, man, it was so choppy. Had a beautiful pre-market activity. I was watching closely the price action to get in here for short, but the price action was really all over the place, guys. Very tough trade. Right here when it was trying to break for the low of the day, just had a difficult time. And then from here, it just didn't trade well. So, I'm probably going to skip on that. I think I just convinced myself not to put that on the list. All right, Norm, what do you have
Talking
this
yourself
morning?
out of trade.
I talked myself out of that one, yeah.
Yeah. Boeing, I don't think you've looked at Boeing.
Nope.
I like Boeing this morning. It's got great volume. It's up almost 4%. Got a new government contract. I believe that was announced yesterday. Then these airlines are up. So it's part of the reopen trade.
Okay. Yep.
Of course, our sleeper Roku, it's not doing much now, but we'll see what it does later.
Yes, agree.
Square, same boat. So I might keep my eye on those. I'm still looking around. I like what we have on this list. I mean, I think today is going to be the reopen trade is going to be the key. Of course, I'm going to watch mRNA.
Yep. And today, guys, as we mentioned again, the market is strong. It's a lot of good news behind it. Don't try to have a bias and go against things or go with things. Just be careful, right? A day like today where everything seems positive, like everything's going to run up, it might not happen. We might get some pullbacks. Or if you try to, something looks extended, you think it's going to be a reversal and you're jumping in, you're just getting hammered every time. Just be aware of what's happening before you take a trade. And if you, like I said, one of the rules I have, if I get stopped out more than twice or three times on a single trade on a ticker, just stop trading it, take a break, and then let some more information develop with the candles, and then figure out what's the next step there. All right, let's head over to you guys. What do you guys have this morning? So let's look here. BA's on deck. We have that one. Scott, AZN. We have looked at this one in the past. AZN
Foreign
here.
stock, it generally trades
Yeah,
like garbage.
yeah. So again, guys, it looks good right now, but the price action on this one, unfortunately, is just not great. So I'll be mindful of that here. Look at the daily. Let me just look at the daily here, right? The pre-market looks, I gotta say, this pre-market is probably the best ones we've seen out of the stock because we looked at it. We've been tracking this one often. It always comes up here. But just look at the daily here. So be careful with this. MGM, we did take a look at. I think MGM is another one that looks great. I think the pre-market is a little bit all over the place compared to like a CCL, United, American Airlines. So for that reason, I'm not going to put it on there. But you know what? It could be a good possible, guys. I mean, the daily, nice breakout here. And we're going to see a lot of stocks like that this morning that could have a possible breakout today. So let's head down over to Baba. See what their daily looks like. So their daily has a pretty nice bounce here, guys. Nice bounce yesterday back above these areas of support here. Possible continuation, but right now I don't really like what I'm seeing pre-market wise. Again, I'm not a big fan of Baba anyways, but if you are, this could be one that also takes off today. All right, let's head on down. GS, did we put GS on the list? I thought we did. I know we talked about it, but I did not put it on here. I'm going to add GS. For me, I'm going to add as a possible because I've seen GS before. It does not trade all that clean.
Yeah,
Even with
true.
news, it is very choppy, guys. So just be mindful of that, right? I like stocks, especially in this price range. I like them to trade like Nvidia, like Apple. You know, these stocks are higher priced, but man, they are smooth. Netflix, when it is in play. This one, it just doesn't trade that clean. It's like a bank, really. But it's, you know, so that's the way it trades. PP is giving us Neo this morning. Right now down 1.6, 2.5 million shares traded. Pre-market is a little bit all over the place right now, and I say that because we've seen what type of pre-market action we get out of Neo for the most part, right? This probably looks like the worst one so far since it's been so active with the volume. If you look down here, you can see the ramp up here in volume in the last couple of days. They've been putting in some serious volume, guys. Average around, what is this? 256 million shares traded a day. So again, a very heavy traded stock as far as volume here. So could be in play, guys, but I'm gonna put it on the side for now. Maybe it's a possible. I think I really like what I have here on these companies that have been really active when the SPY has been strong, and obviously the SPY is really strong. And I'm not having a bias, but if we get a run up here, if we get a possible squeeze, as we mentioned earlier, this could be really good for these stocks for some good opportunities there for a breakout. JP Morgan, you know, I talked about it. I did look at it. Let's take a look here. JP Morgan, how does that look this morning?
I was going to say, if you're playing banks, they already released their earnings, but banks overall are up. It trades cleaner than Goldman most days.
Yeah. JP Morgan again has a nice possible breakout here. Looks like it might be making a new pre-market high and a little run here. So yeah, this is a possible swell. Again, today it's a type of day where you can be picky, start filtering these things out based on, you know, the stocks that you like to play, the price range you like to play, and if anything doesn't look great, you know, just completely scratch it off your list, right? So there's some stuff here that doesn't look great, that could be a great possible, but today, you know, we might not even make it to the possibles list with what we have. That's JRJC is actually here. The low flow of the day, obviously up 245%. But this float, guys, is 1.8 million shares float. So again, the how fast this can drop on you. You know, somebody will come in with a decent sized order. It can really get you caught off guard, even with a hard stop, right? Some people think, oh, I'll just put a hard stop. If you have some kind of slippage here, man, it can cost you. So
Yeah.
you want to be really careful with this. Even if you have experience, again, I've been trading for 3 years now, and I stay away from these because I'm just not good at them. And also keep in mind the strategies that we teach in our community that you have been learning in our classes, they don't work all that well with this type of stocks, right? So be mindful of that. If you're looking for an ABCD pattern, it might be a complete fake out because these things are moved completely different. It's a whole different animal. So just be aware of that. Some people will start trading this and then notice, hey, the ABCD pattern doesn't work. Well, what stocks are you trading it on? That's very important. You got to match, you got to match things together here. So let's take a look at our YouTube chat. What do we have? BK and Apple. Let's look at that. So BK, I don't like this price action right all in the pre-market, guys. Very choppy. Almost looks like a foreign stock. It might be. It's just horrible, low of volume for the most part every single day. So we'll skip on that one. Let's take a look at the next one, Apple. Apple is going to be another one of those possible plays like Nvidia. What's AMD and these other guys doing? AMD not doing all that much. Nvidia, let's take a look at that just in case. Not doing all that much right now. So again, the play is really with these possible companies that that need the country to reopen. That's the ones that are moving very well, obviously, today. So Apple, for the most part, is active, guys. 736. Good pre-market action. This week here is throwing things off a little bit, but has a good pre-market action. You know what? We could put it as a possible. I don't see why not. Apple is good.
You know, I don't like about Apple and Jay here, and so if you're looking at sectors today, the SPY, the overall market, the SPY is up 1.33% right now. The Qs, which is the NASDAQ 100, and not very tech focused, but more tech focused than the other indices, it's only up 0.5%. Some people are pointing out Apple here. Its gap is way less than what most of these are. They had some good news. They have a catalyst. They want an EU court decision saying that they don't owe a pretty large sum of money in taxes because of some illegal tax breaks from Ireland or something. But I'm telling you that, this huge run that we've had in technology recently is being faded now. And the rotation at the moment, and not that this can't change, but at the moment, the last few days, this morning, looks like the money is moving away from tech into some other things, into some more cyclical names, and I'm not feeling those tech trades.
That's a good point. I mean, just zoom out on Apple here, guys. I mean, look at the run that Apple has had. I mean, just unbelievable. And I agree with you. Again, if you look at our main list now, most of these stocks is travel companies that we have on here. That's what's looking good today with some good potentials of a possible pop. For the most part, right? And some vaccine company, mRNA, right now dropping a little bit. Great pre-market action, 4 million shares now. So I think that's where the action is going to be today. Not saying that these cannot become active. You can get a possible play, but you want to watch where the volume is at. Look at the volume on all these stocks here. All well, besides a play here, all well or close to a million or above that. So we'll see what we can get there. All right, let's take a look at a few more, guys. Let's look at Disney here from Ryan. What is Disney looking like today? Not much activity on Disney, so only 168. It is up 2.8. I like the daily though. The daily possible breakout here. So if we can get some a nice push here towards this moving average, that could be an opportunity. So I love that it's up 2.8, but the pre-market's a little bit all over the place right now. So I'm gonna skip on that one. Let's take a look at a few more. JRCR continues to rip. You have 236 now. We looked at that one. We have it on our list. Let's take a look at GE. GE, again, it's a stock that doesn't move well. If there's not a specific catalyst for GE, I don't even put it on my watch list. There's got to be something specific about it. The few times that I have had a somewhat decent trade has been when it has a catalyst. If it doesn't have a catalyst, I will not trade it at all. And it's got to be a strong catalyst, as Norm was mentioning, how he categorizes which catalyst is good, which is strong, which is weaker than most. So it's
GE trades well like one day a year.
Yeah, that's it. And it's probably
otherwise you're going to sit for 5 hours waiting for a 10-cent move tops. Yeah.
Yep, absolutely. All right, two more, guys. Let's look at SABR here. See what's going on there. This one, no volume here. So again, I'm not seeing a whole lot, and so I'm going to skip on this one. Only 88,000. It is up 5%, but again, not seeing anything great here on this one. So we'll skip this one, and then last one. From Justin, GE NE. Let's take a look there. This one is active, guys, up 25%. Let's bring over what our trade idea says in regards to the flow, because I'm assuming it's going to be a low one, as it's very close to a penny stock here, trying to trade slightly under $2, 4.7. So again, it's active. It is a low flow stock, but today I'm not focused any day on these type of stocks. But if you are today, you got to be careful because we have a lot of other stuff moving very well this morning. All right, guys, let's go over to our announcements. We'll come back and fine-tune this list. Actually,
all right, buddy. So
you bring this back to the start of the slide here. Here we go.
All right, guys. So it's Wednesday. Tonight is Jared's success webinar. talking about trend days, how to identify them early, how to take the trend for the day, how he does, spots them. So check that out, 8 p.m. in the webinar room this evening. Next week's success webinar is Mike. He's going to be talking about developing your edge and playbook through journaling. So 2 very important topics, and look forward to seeing those tonight and next week. Guys, Mike did his webinar last night on Module 1, Defining Yourself as a Trader. It's already up. There's a version of this already in the Psychology Center on the website. I don't know if they'll put up the subsequent one or not, but if you have not checked it out, especially if you're early on in your trading career, be sure to check that out. All right, guys, this has been a lot of fun, and we're just 2 days into it, really. So we have launched the BBT member trade of the day. Monday through Thursday, take your best trade, one best trade. Honor system has to be a real trade. Mark it up, put, where it shows your entries and exits, give, your reasoning behind taking the entry, partials, levels, whatever you got. Post it on Twitter by 1 p.m. Eastern time, and tag at Bearable Traders, which is Andrew, at Mike B, BBT, and at Norm BBT, as they're shown on the screen. Also use the hashtag BBT family. Mike and I are selecting a winner each day that will be announced in the closed show that we do that's streamed on YouTube, once again, Monday through Thursday. And then we're going to bring this up and make a segment probably starting next week in the pre-market show, and we'll look at that trade at the very beginning of the show. So we'll take those 4 winners, and Mike and I will choose a week winner, a weekly winner out of those 4 each Friday. Mike will do a quick recap on those trades, and I believe it'll be posted on YouTube. And then the winner for the week out of those 4 will win a $100 gift card from Amazon, or from Andrew, for Amazon. So anyway, good luck. Can't wait to look at that and see all y'all's trades. It's been real fun watching them so far. If you're watching this on YouTube and haven't been in the chat, you can get a discounted rate for the trial. It's 7 days, calendar days, 5 trading days. That includes Carlos's every Monday night onboarding class at 8 p.m. Use the promo code PREMARKET24, that's PREMARKET24, and you'll get the discount for the week trial. Doesn't auto-renew or return into any other kind of membership or anything like that. If you are a fan of podcasts, Peter released a new one this morning. It was a talk with our own in-house psychologist, Dr. Jonathan Katz. Search Talk with Traders on your favorite podcast platform, and you'll be able to find our Bear Bull Traders podcast. And speaking of Peter, join him, Mike, and Brian in the market closing bell, our closing bell show, 3:30 to 4:15 p.m. Eastern. And they will be doing trade reviews, market analysis, swing trading ideas, and earnings trades now that we're into earnings season right after the bell.
All right, thank you. I appreciate that. All right, guys, let's take a quick look at the SPY now. So the SPY continues to just bang its head right at this level, as we're mentioning now. By the time we come back, it might break through it. So we'll see what kind of action we're going to get here. Let's look at this list. So first, leading the way, mRNA, that's definitely on our list. Plays is a good one right now. I'm not sure if it's going to stay on our final list here, but it's looking okay right now at the moment. CCL on our list, NCLH could be a good one. I'm going to decide between these two which one we keep. I'm probably going to go with let's go with CCL today. It has the most volume. Both of their pre-market are very, very similar right now, so you can't go wrong with either one, but I think CCL just with the most volume, we'll take a look at that one. I do like United this morning as the airline I'm going to keep here. I think their pre-market looks amazing, so I'll keep that one on deck. American Airlines, their pre-market not as great, still some good volume. So if you like the way this one trades, you keep that one also. So we'll remove American Airlines for me. BA here, guys, also looking very good. Great pre-market action. And what I like about BA here is the breakout that we have on the daily, a potential breakout we have on the daily. So we broke out of this area of resistance here. Now we're at the top of this range. I'm going to put the level here now because we're just talking about it, right? The top of this range around 189.46. So if we can get going here, I think that'll be a beautiful breakout there. As possibles, let's take a look, see what looks good today. We have Apple, we have GS. Again, GS, I'm going to remove GS because, again, is a tough stock to trade, guys. It's very choppy, very difficult. You know, the spread could be funky at times. So I'm going to take this one off my list. I do like RollQuest Apostle today. Don't mind the horrible pre-market action. We've seen this do this almost every day the last 2 weeks and have an amazing explosive trade. I do like Win this morning as a possible. Not great pre-market action. We'll keep an eye on that one. SQ's decent. MGM is okay. Neo, I might move Neo up. I have some room here in my main list. I might move it up. It has been pretty good the last couple of days. Maybe we can get something out of that today. So we'll move that one. And then let's take a look at JP Morgan. I think from the banking sector, which again, well, that's what's hot today, right? Banks are up, travel stocks are up. I'm going to keep JPM as my banking stock today. I think it looks pretty good. Also on the daily, I like what I'm seeing here. We have a lot of room to run here. We'll do some levels for it in a sec. All right, mRNA, guys, high of the pre-market right now. This is the one that's hot, obviously popping off yesterday, pretty nice. 91.99. The low of the pre-market sitting at 84.66, and then towards the bottom, we do have an error here at 79.78. Below that, guys, highs and lows from the last 2 trading days. The previous day close got you covered there. So let's head back here, see what we have. This all-time high, I'm assuming, on mRNA. I'm assuming it is at least 52-week high for sure. So that is what we have right now. Pre-market action very active. I'm going to mark down this level here. This is a very wide range. If you look at the high of the pre-market right now, 91.81. I want to have this level here. Obviously, you can see 88.94. You have some resistance happening here. Tested 3 times, right? We came back down, tested 84.84, came back up 1, 2, 3, maybe 4 times, right? And then we had to drop below the VWAP, below the moving averages. Looks like we're heading back down towards this 84.84. So you want to have that on there. Also in between here, you have try to hold this 86.76, right? So if you see that here, try to hold that. Even yesterday after hours, this was an area of great support and resistance, right? So it has support here for a couple of candles. Was not able to hold that when it drops and becomes resistance as well. And then we had the beautiful breakout, obviously, this morning. So you want to have that on there. Again, 3 good levels, because from 91.81 all the way down to 84, that is a really, really tough range. You need to have something in between there. And then towards the bottom, if we lose this 84.84, obviously we have a huge gap up. Just look out for 84, you know, look out for 83. These whole dollar numbers are going to be important on the way down here. Here we have play right now. So play, again, putting in an okay pre-market action. I do like the possibility of this thing trading well today. We got some decent volume on it. This is probably one of the least favorite out of this list here, but I do want to keep an eye on it. 1328 high of the pre-market. Above that, we do have our level at 1440. Towards the bottom, we do have plenty of levels, highs and lows from the last 2 trading days, and an amazing support here at the previous day close. You see how many times we have found support right at that area, so we have a nice level there to trade off if we do decide to go down there. Here is CCL. I love the action on CCL right now. Pre-market is looking very good. High of the pre-market sitting at 1645. We tested that also a couple of times. Above that, we do have our 16 level here, and obviously this beautiful spike here at 1779. Towards the bottom, low of the pre-market sitting at 1561. In between here, not really any good levels. You might find some minor support levels here over around maybe 16 on the dot. You can see several days are closing and opening around that 16. So I'm going to keep that on there, guys, in case we come back down there and find a support. But again, your major level is going to be the low of the pre-market over at 1560. Below this, highs and lows from the last 2 trading days got you covered. You do not need to add any more on there. Here is United. Again, I like the way United looks today, better than most of the airlines right now. But Apple also, I mean, not Apple, sorry, excuse me. American Airlines has a lot of volume. So if you want to watch that one, you could do so as well. High of the pre-market, 34.66. Above this, clear level here, guys. Nice rejection at 38.45, and then towards the bottom here we do have another level at 36.05, and then below our pre-market low right now, guys, plenty of levels all the way down here. You can see tons of stuff happening here, highs and lows from the last 2 trading days. Your pre-market low is pretty much where the high is from 2 days ago. So again, you do not need to add that on. That's going to be the level you'll be looking for if we do decide to drop here on this beautiful pre-market action. Here's BA. BA is again, when BA is trading well, it can be really nice. You get some pretty good moves out of BA. Right now, pre-market high sitting at 187 on the dot. Towards the bottom, or your pre-market low is the high from yesterday, and you also have the high from 2 days ago in between there as well, creating a nice area of possible support. And then towards the bottom, we had a beautiful range that we broke out of today. If you can see it on here, from 180 down to 174. Again, just kind of banging our heads back and forth here, eventually in beautiful breakout now with a pop. Let's see if we can get some kind of continuation here. A lot of it's going to be sitting, guys, on the SPY. You know, if the SPY decides to break out here, a lot of these companies are up today nicely, are going to follow suit. If you missed the show earlier, we spoke about the SPY being in a very critical area. We're back at the most recent high since the drop of COVID right on here, right? So again, this is very significant if we can push above that, or are we going to get a rejection and fall back into the range right on here, right? So we'll see what happens there. All right, let's take a look at NEO this morning. Pre-market action, yeah. You know, I'm half and half on this one. I'm on the fence, but let's do some levels first, just in case. We're towards the bottom, you do have the lows from the last 2 trading days. Towards the top, you have the previous day close plus the highs from the last 2 trading days. Your pre-market high is a little bit higher than the previous day close, sitting at 1440. So we'll mark that down, and we'll see. Pre-market action is okay. It might not make our final list. Let's see how things get going here. JP Morgan, I do like this one out of all the banks right now. I think it's the one that looks the cleanest for the most part. The daily also looks great. High of the pre-market 101. Towards the bottom, you do have your highs and lows from the last 2 trading days and the previous day close, creating some pretty good support. If we can get above this 101, which has been an area of great resistance for this stock, if you look at going back over to mid-June, you can see how many times we try to get above this and we couldn't. We did have a little pop here, but we came right back down a couple of day or two, and then you can see 101 continues to be an area of struggle for it. So we'll see if we can get going here. It's going to need some help from the SPY to crack through that, I'm sure. 102.58, high of a couple of days, the opening and closing of a couple of days here, and then above that we do have a beautiful level here at 105.54. So that is what we have, guys. As our to recap on our possibles, we have Apple. Apple is very active today. We do have Roku. Roku's not doing much, but this is going to be my top possible. I want to see what's happening there. Wind is kind of going back. This doesn't look great if it comes back to this congested area. You know, this will be good if it breaks out. So this is one on the turbo breakout scanner on Trade Ideas that I'll be looking for this morning. If we can get a breakout here, this could be a nice one with some volume. SQ also coming back to the previous day close, so not looking all that great right now. And MGM is probably doing the same thing here. So some good possibles there, guys. We'll see what kind of action we get out of them towards the open. VXRT here. This one is very active. I have this down as a possible. Let's do some levels for it. I know some traders in the community are watching this one. 1450, low of the pre-market, the high of the pre-market, all the way up. This thing was green this morning, going red now, down 8.4. High of the pre-market 1948, so all the way up here, guys, getting a nice little drop. Where the price action is now, this red line, that is a good level. I want to mark that because you can see we tested this going back at 7 a.m., again around 8 a.m., and now right now at 9 a.m. So again, we've been testing this quite a bit, this level here. It looks like it's an important support for it. If it loses this, it can easily give us some more movement towards the downside. So have that 1553 right on there. Let's see what we can get out of that. And then towards the bottom below that, highs and lows from the last 2 trading days got you covered. What is the flow on VXRT? Let's take a look. Where did I put my little thing here? Did I close it? I think I might have closed it. I think I might have closed. Oh, here it is, VXRT. 46 million shares flow. So not bad, guys. Again, but this one could move quite a bit on you. Be careful on the number of shares that you do take on this one. All right, before
FinViz has it at 73.5, so just a heads up on that.
Okay,
73.5 million.
Oh, that's a lot higher. Yep. All right, guys, I think that is what we have. Before we get to whatever our moderators are watching, do we see anything else here that we like? Norm, do you see anything else that we might have missed that we should go over?
No, not that I haven't mentioned already. I put my list up there, so it's all on there.
All right, perfect. Let's see what we have here. Let's scroll and see what our moderators are watching today. So here's Thor Young's top 3, CCL, mRNA, and United. So we'll see how those play out. Very good list there, guys. Peter's main watch list is mRNA and GS. His secondary is going to be UNH, American Airlines, CCL, AMD, and Apple. Tiffany's list is United, mRNA, and BA. Eamon, his list is going to be mRNA, GS, VXRT, and the secondary list is watching JR, JC, and Delta Airlines. All right, Norman, your list is mRNA, United, GS, NEO, BB, BY, BA, JP Morgan, and SQ. All right, guys, we have a pretty good list this morning. Excited to see what this market open is going to look like. Looking forward to seeing some good opportunities develop for us with this volatility that the market is creating for us today. With that said, guys, trade safe. Again, don't have a bias today. I know the SPY is strong right now. Just keep an open mind. Wait a couple of minutes. Sometimes you just need to wait to let some candles develop, and you have to make the best decision with what you had at hand. And sometimes what you have at hand might not be enough. So wait for some candles to kind of tell you the story on what's happening, who's in control of the price action, and then make the best decision possible. Take care, guys. Trade safe. We'll see you tomorrow, 8:30 Eastern time.
Take care, guys. Trade safe.